Okay, so I visited the Welgevonden Game Reserve in the northern part of South Africa for a state-of-the-art technology project. And now I have the honor to speak to Bradley Schroder, the CEO of Welgevonden Game Reserve. Hi Bradley, welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. What kind of new technologies can we expect in the reserve?
Well, I think what's happened recently, or in recent times, is with the effect that poaching has been taking on not just rhino, but all species, is that conservationists have had to find different techniques and ways of staying ahead of poachers. So, IT, information technology, that is the only way to go to stay ahead of well-paid and highly skilled poaching operations.
And how exactly does that Internet of Things, the IoT technology, help to protect rhinos and other animals against poachers? How does that work?
Well, basically what's happening is, the old form of poaching is just people coming in on foot.
Okay.
However, they're using technology as much as anybody else is these days. So for us to be able to stay ahead of them, we have to develop and come up with new programs, new information technology, etc., which can keep us ahead of the game. So with utilizing partners like IBM, Wageningen University from the Netherlands, MTN in South Africa, we've been able to come up with new concepts which we're busy trying out on Welgevonden by utilizing animals as sentinels and anti-poaching agents, which then no human can defeat.
So you're putting on a collar around the neck of an impala or other animals, and because of the behavior of the impalas, you can predict if there is a poacher. Am I right?
So basically what happened was a number of years ago, Wageningen did a study on Welgevonden where they had collars on animals, and they were able to prove that when an animal was disturbed, its behavioral patterns could be changed anywhere up to 7 to 8 hours. So with that in mind, a new development was done where they came up with sensors that would be able to distinguish in different movement patterns. So in other words, if a vehicle drove past an impala, how would the animal react? If a lion came near the impala, how would it react? If a person carrying a gun came near an impala, how would it react? So by doing all of these different types of experiments, the plan is to be able to assess or work out through mathematical algorithms which is the algorithm that proves human beings walking with firearms with the intent to kill are there. And then that mathematical algorithm will inform us that there are poachers or potential poachers in an area.
So you're basically saying that you can see from the behavior of impalas, for instance, if there's a lion or a human being in the neighborhood.
Correct.
So they're reacting differently. Oh, that's great information, actually. Yeah, that's very nice. And it's a project that is in Welgevonden. Is it very new and ahead of the game, or is all the game reserves in South Africa use this technology?
Absolutely groundbreaking technology.
Okay,
so
Welgevonden is
concept. It is only being done in Welgevonden at this stage. We are running the test project at the moment. We're coming close to the end of that, so we haven't got all the finalized information and data to prove that it works yet. We're very confident that it is. Of course, as soon as we would share this information with everybody to get this rolled out. Not only in South Africa, it can be used in any country in the world where you have a poaching problem, for example, with tigers in China.
Okay, and when you have the data complete and it will be brought to the outer world, it will also be done in Wageningen with people, finishing their study about it or whatever?
That's correct. There are students that are doing postdocs and PhDs and master's degrees on this whole program through Wageningen. And then, of course, with all the collaboration of partnerships with Welgevonden, Wageningen, MTN, IBM, and a number of others, once the project has been proven, obviously a decision will then be taken on how we will roll it out. So I think that the first plan would be to immediately roll it out into Welgevonden's full entire reserve, along with our neighboring farms, which is including national parks.
Yes, because that was also a question of mine. Welgevonden Game Reserve is a reserve more or less built by several owners who put their ground together, right? Are they all working on this project, or is this a project from the outside, or is it really initiated from inside the owners of Welgevonden?
Well, the initial way it started, it was quite an interesting way actually. I was contacted by both Wageningen and MTN within a month of each other. with not the same concept, but similar concepts. And they're along the same lines as what Welgevonden had been thinking in any case of how do we stay ahead of the game. And once these three partners met up, then IBM got involved in another company called Prodapt. And well, that's where we are today. So with all these extremely clever people put together in one box, we were able to come up with this program.
Okay, well, we're very curious about the results because I understood that more or less 3 rhinos are killed in Africa every day. So it would be great if you find a way to lower that number. One more last question? Why are rhinos so interesting? Because I know they, of course, they have that horn that's very valuable, I guess. Is it still that valuable?
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah. So rhino horn currently on the black market is selling anywhere between 80 and $100,000 per kilogram. Okay. So it's been utilized in many different ways. You know, everybody believed that it was an aphrodisiac, but in actual fact, that's probably the least important reason for the horns being taken. You know, there were many things. There's medicinal beliefs, there are cultural beliefs. Just status. If you have a big horn on your trophy cabinet, you are a wealthy person. Other countries use it to make dagger handles, and so there are numerous uses for it, even though they aren't really medicinal uses. Okay. If they were, we would be able to eat our hair and our fingernails because it's made of the exact same compound, keratin. Okay,
really? So actually the material is not that special, but it's the shape and the idea that it's from a rhino. Okay, well, one more last question. This is very new technology. You're also using other technology which is more wide known. I heard that there were like hidden cameras in the ground. If animals step on it at night, they are being videoed or taken a picture. Is that useful? Do you get a lot of information from that as well?
Okay, so yes, we have camera trap programs, as we call them. Mm-hmm. They're not activated by stepping on them. They're actually activated by movement. Okay. So basically what it allows us to do is to understand animal movements and animal numbers. So particularly with certain species that are really shy and are only at nighttime, like leopard really, you know, you're able to photograph them and identify them individually. Their markings are almost like the human fingerprint. So it allows us to understand population dynamics, sex ratios, and we also get very interesting things other than that on these cameras, including poachers or anybody else that happens to walk past the camera. Okay.
That's clear. Well, thank you very much. I think it's all very interesting, and I think you will collect a lot of data about the animals, which all of the world will be able to use for further research and for further protection of those animals. Technology is a very big part of the wildlife conservation, especially at the Welgevonden Game Reserve, and I'm very happy that you're busy with it in such a way. Thank you very much for your time and your explanation, and I hope to visit soon again someday. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure, and I hope if you do visit that we actually get to meet in person next time.
I do hope so. Thank you.
Fantastic. Have a good day further.